Kremlin candidate Sergei Sobyanin is set to win the election for mayor of Moscow, exit polls suggest, in a closely fought contest. His main challenger at Sunday's ballot in the Russian capital was Alexei Navalny, the charismatic leader of Russia's pro-democracy movement. Exit polls quoted by Russian media suggest Mr Sobyanin had won 52%. Taking victory in the first round. But the Navalny campaign believe he did not cross the 50% barrier. They predict that he won 46% to 35.5% for their man, meaning the election would go to a second round. The BBC's Daniel Sandford in Moscow says that if Mr Navalny does forces the vote to go to a second round, it will be a major setback for the Kremlin. Mr Navalny is currently on bail after being found guilty of embezzlement in what he insists was a political trial. Low turnout. Turnout seems to have been low, with 26.5% officially recorded as having cast their vote 2 hours before polling stations closed. Mayoral elections were abolished in Moscow in 2004 but reinstated as a concession to pro-democracy campaigners. Mr Navalny ran a Western-style campaign, holding informal meetings with voters outside metro stations and using glossy posters of himself with his family. He is credited with bringing grassroots politics to the Russian capital, inspiring thousands of volunteers to support his campaign. Mr Sobyanin became mayor in 2010 after Yuri Luzhkov, who had governed the city for almost 2 decades, was forced out of office. Mr Sobyanin had a low profile during the race, shunning debates with the 5 other candidates. In late 2011, Moscow was the scene of the biggest anti-government protests since Soviet times after a general election marked by allegations of ballot rigging. Analysts say much depends on how free and fair the mayoral vote is seen to be. In all, 6 candidates stood in the election.